Okay, thanks, Dad, for such a passionate speak. We could see your passion there. When you came to me that night and you said, "Hey, Eve, I believe we should change our names," it resonated with me right away. Like, yes, let's take power back. We talk about culture. Oh, African culture, African tradition. How can we talk about culture when we don't even own our own names?
Yes, and that's where everything comes now again, about thinking, about power mind. So when I start thinking to believe God, our mind, it's everything. So you think general. You think you're African, you talk to other people. And I remember one person asked you, "Oh, your name is Alois. And what Alois mean?" See, that was long time ago, but I didn't know, and I didn't care, because I know this is my name. As I say, "Oh, it's a French name." But it didn't resonate with me that times. I just and I said, "That's, I didn't pay attention to it." So now later when I start now thinking about using mine, so that things, when I was going morning walk, it comes up again. And then I say, why, as African only, we have other cultures' name? Why? So the reason now I start thinking about the regions, how Christianity came, and how Islam came to Africa. So those two things came with those names. And then the third one came with that name is the colonial names, because they colonize us and they impose how to live. So now, as I said, no, the way I want to change from these religions, and then the mind came in, we have to start from our name. And that's the only way we go to start. We never think to losing our name is impact our culture.
Powerful. And it's so true. Like, you look at, like you said earlier in your statement, other communities, they have all kept the names, the Indian, the Asian, the Arab, Christians. Everyone has their names apart from us. Yes. So how do we expect to demand respect when we don't even own our own names? How do we go and we talk and complain about racism and we don't even own our own names? We're going and marching on the streets, trying to be able to empower ourselves, and we don't own our own names. It has to start from there. It has to start from the way we perceive ourselves. The power that we have is from within. And if it is from within, it is our names. Imagine, like you're saying, even for me with the name Eve, it's a unique name here in Australia. No one's really called Eve the way it's spelled, and it's great. But even when I was younger, I used to say, yeah, my name's Eve, but then I'll be like, oh, it's a French name, and just something about that was like, why am I so proud that it's a French name? But imagine now being able to be called Sugira Rubasha. That feeling it gives you when even someone is reading your name somewhere, Sugira Rubasha, they know definitely they can identify it's an African name. So imagine, you're an African person, you're a black person, and your name is Muhammad, your name is Ali, your name is John, your name is Ian. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. So that's where change comes. And again, it's a history. It's, again, the distraction. And that's where it comes again, the power of mind. So the power of mind, in that times, the men who came to Africa, they had strong power of mind than the people they found. They said, look, to be good, you have to be called this name. To be this, you have to be called name. To get this job, you have to be called this name. So they have been strong in mind, and then they change people that period of times, and then people, they agree, they change it. So now the problem is we never question about it. We never talk about it. When you grow up from your parents, they baptize you, because the way it's been happening. They've been baptized by their parents, by great-grandparents, and then they change names. And you remember when the colonial changed name, they started to elderlies. So now, always you have these issues between our families, because you don't question elderlies. Whatever they say, it's right. So now, that is where the world, the young one, maybe there's some people between this period who are trying to question this, but it was not go further to understand it, because the elderly have said this, and then we think that whole thing there. And another thing I want to mention, when we say culture, as African, we think culture, it can't be changed. Because they've been give us this name, we think we can't change them. No, we are going to change them. It's not our names, but we get names to call it. So now, when you get other people's names, you are losing our ancestors' names. And when you look now, you change your name. The emotion you feel with it, that is the secret. The secret is not, people can still call a different name, but the feeling the inside, to change, to feel your own ownership, to feel the proud for your culture, especially when you are a kid. People, they will tell us, oh, it's too long, it's too long name, you should, of course, you can shorten it, you can do things there, but other communities have long names.
You look at even other communities that have been colonized, they still have their names.
Yes.
So why can't we take back our names? Why can't we stop dealing with distractions? Take back our names. Once we take back our names, we have that power. Now that we have that power, we go and we create institutions. No longer protesting and marching on the street for endless hours. No, we go in there, we create our economic institutions with our names. Yes. How powerful is that?
And powerful. And who's going to do that? As ourselves. Who's going to change it? As ourselves. Because everything had to start is individual, not thinking there. That's why we say each person, each you feel you agree with me. It's good to change it. It's good to change it. It's good to bring the names there. It's good to go back. And this is not time to argue. This is not time to see why did it happen. It happened. No, this is the time to change. This is the time to take our name back. This is the time to take us to change it, because it's how generation come, how generation change. My friends, your children, give them the right name, your ancestor. This is the name which is remind you some things from your family. And that is how other community live. Name, it's history. Name is a family. From the family, from everything there will belong. We lose a lot of things there. We lose our ancestors. We lose our Christianity. We lose everything. And always we never question about it. My brothers, we are not going to argue. If you believe, if you agree with me, change your name.
Change your name. Public service announcement. This is a campaign that we will continue to be in your face. We need to take back our power, take back the ownership of who you truly are. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.